This morning on BRN, why sniffles and sneezes should make you think about heart health this allergy season. And joining me now to help break it all down is Dr. Rauno of SUNY Downstate. Dr. Yox, great to see you. Thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
My pleasure. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And I know we're going to talk about allergies, but we're also going to talk about how they relate to the heart. It's spring, doctor, as you know, and the plants are starting to bloom and we're starting to get flowering, and that means allergy season. But doctor, there's a link between your allergies and your heart.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we found in a very extensive database that the CDC provided, where we had data on over 600,000 Americans, and we found a significant correlation between hay fever or allergic rhinitis, as we call it, asthma, and having had a history of heart disease, basically. So.
And I mean, did that correlation? I mean, 600,000, it's a lot of data, so it's hard to say, oh, is it a trend or not a trend? It is a trend. I mean, you see it in the data. Did that surprise you? I mean, as a layperson, that surprised me.
Um, well, as a physician, I know that there are other chronic inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and psoriasis and lupus, which have been shown in the past to increase the risk for heart disease. So, as an allergist, knowing that about maybe 9% of the population has asthma and around 30% have hay fever. Those are also chronic inflammatory conditions. So we wanted to see what the relationship was of having respiratory allergies is with having heart disease.
And when you looked at the data, doctor, does it skew towards a certain demographic? For example, do younger people have more prevalence of heart disease? Older people like me, is there a demographic that it skews towards?
The interview data was gathered on adults older than 18, so anything above
Yeah.
18. And they were asked questions as to have you ever been diagnosed with asthma? Have you had active asthma the past year? Do you have hay fever? As well as heart oriented questions like have you ever been diagnosed with coronary heart disease? Uh, have you ever had been diagnosed with angina? And have you ever had a heart attack? So those are the questions that this large sample of the American population were asked, and using statistical methods, we it was over like 20 years of data that was gathered that the epidemiologists and statisticians associated with this project were able to find a significant link. So,
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's prevalent. You see it in the data. Are there, a lot of Americans take allergy medicines or they have inhalers if they have asthma. Do those help in terms of curbing some of the inflammation? I mean, if you address it with someone like yourself, you come in early, you find out you have a problem. Could that put aside some of the challenges with heart disease?
well, the study wasn't geared to look at treatment effects. It's really just, again, a national survey as to whether you have these conditions or not. So we really don't know how treatment of asthma or hay fever would maybe uh, decrease the odds for having uh, heart issues. So um, all we know is that the link is there,
Yeah.
and we know that allergies and asthma tend they start in younger ages, whereas heart disease occurs in older ages. So time-wise, there's probably some it may be a predisposition to, if you have allergies and asthma, to maybe through the inflammation associated with that, that it may rev up the changes that are associated with heart disease. So.
And I would imagine one of the key takeaways is if you have your sneeze, if you're sneezing incessantly during the spring season, go get checked out by someone like yourself, or at least start with your internist to.
Well,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
yeah,
doctor.
I mean, you have to take it all in context. So, I mean, there are certain symptoms that people with heart issues present with. So they'll have chest tightness, and they may have lightheadedness or feel their heart racing and stuff. So, but certainly chest tightness is also a sign of having asthma exacerbation. So I think that actually one of the stronger associations were if you had asthma exacerbation in the past year, that was had higher risks for having had angina or having coronary artery disease. So you have to see, who the patient is. If they also have
Sure.
high blood pressure or diabetes or smoke, those also contribute to the risk for having coronary artery disease. So it has to be taken into context.
And in terms of the follow up to this study, I mean, you looked at a lot of data. Are there next steps in terms of what you would like to test next? I mean, you and the team have seemed to prove that there is a correlation based on the analysis. What do you do with that next? How do you follow up on that study?
Well, that's a hard one because we don't have any blood biomarkers that directly link allergic inflammation uh, to having heart disease. Except I should say, I have to correct myself. There's previous studies that we've shown that having higher blood eosinophil levels actually are associated with the presence of coronary artery disease. So eosinophils are allergy cells that are activated from the bone marrow when you're exposed to, tree pollen or cat dander and stuff. And they travel from your bone marrow to your nose and your lungs, and they settle there. But the higher your blood levels of the eosinophils, that's been associated with having the presence of coronary heart disease as well. So how to track that over time is very, that's something that really needs a lot of further investigation. And whether there are other blood markers linking the two, it's not known at this time.
Yeah, well, I guess more to come, but certainly you kind of cracked the door open, and that's a good thing. And hopefully, people who have allergies can get the treatment they need, and also can no longer have heart disease maybe down the line. Dr. Yox, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Yeah, thanks you. My pleasure. Thank you very much.
And don't forget to subscribe to our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse, for all the news in one place. Details, of course, at our website, and your subscription helps support all this great BRN content. And we're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.